Hello everybody, my name is Splattercat and welcome back to our Let's Play of Warlock, Master of the Arcane. First and foremost, a bit of a foreword on this episode. If I start to sound a little bit stuffed up, bear with me. I have terrible allergies right now. I have just been ridiculously stuffed up, and the bad thing about allergy medication is that you kind of have to pick which end of your anatomy you would like to be plugged up, and I chose the upper end because frankly I just won't allow things to fiddle with the lower end. So if I end up sounding a little bit plugged up this episode, I apologize, but I'm going to try and roll with the punches because I do feel like you guys deserve an episode here today. So let's take a look, and now I believe that I finished off my last turn without really doing that much, but we can recruit settlers now in Bulgaria, that it's telling us, skeletal settlers, and I may consider doing just that once we actually have a fighting force that can take care of business. Now I am going to cycle through everybody to make sure that everybody has an order, so let's get them healed up. Our wolves as well, our lovely little feral friends, need to be nice and working together for the future. Now I am semi-tempted because we do have a sizable force up here. You'll remember from the last episode we were planning a massive invasion of Webshire, but we weren't sure how our opponent was going to hit it, and so we wanted to sneak this out from under him because he is being aggressive about taking this land, and Nicholas Frost could become our enemy in the future were he to be this kind of close to our border. So when we take this, we're still going to be close to his, and he is doing an amazing job at wiping out King Lich, but we may be building ourselves an enemy right here, and we want to ready ourselves for that. We want to safeguard ourselves from that. So if we can take this right here, I'd be in a pretty good mood, and I honestly have no problem letting Nicholas Frost take the front lines on this whole ordeal and kind of just deal with all of our enemies himself. But ooh, we can do 17 damage to that. God, we are just ready to hit this thing. So I'm going to let him hit it with the halberdiers first, and next turn I'm going to try and conquer this. So hopefully this doesn't backfire on me. I'm going to try and time this properly. Now, let's see if we can take a look at everybody who hasn't been cycled through yet. And he still has some orders ready to go, so we're going to draw him into line right there, just in case we have to push a little bit further into the enemy territory. He's also got some upgrades that are available. However, I think we're going to avoid it for now. I'd like to keep my money high enough to where if a hero shows up, we can order him and get him ready to roll.
Yes, my lord.
This gentleman over here needs to move out of the range of the towers over there. And while I would like to use him as an assault trooper against my enemy's position, I'd also like to clear out this area down here because, as you can see, there's multiple nodes down here that I'd love to take advantage of. So hopefully I can send some units down this way, get this cleared out. I know there's some great bears over here, and there's also some other dangerous mobs, so a hero may be what turns the tide over here. We've also got archers, who I am going to bring with me as well to clear out this area. And so there's the bears right there. Hopefully they don't come after the archers in the next turn. We've also got these two units down here in the bottom. I'm going to put them in sentry mode, and they're just going to watch this whole westmost flank, just in case any of our enemies decide to get a sneaky and open up with the sneaky attacks. We will keep it on the down low just in case. And with that all out of the way, we have a new unit. So where is he? Oh, that's the skeleton settlers. Okay, we can make them, and that's actually a tempting proposition to get another group of settlers going that are not of our race. We do want to be racially diverse, yeah, we want to be racially diverse in this whole thing. We don't want to have a homogenous human force. So if we can get into producing, yeah, I think that's probably what I'll do, is maybe I'll put a skeleton city over here. And once I have that in place, I'll use that as a skeleton production capital so that I can get bats and skeletal warriors and some of the undead things that we would like to have for the future. So let's go ahead and end the turn. And it looks like over here, what's going on? So what just hit us right there? Hopefully nobody declared on us. That's all I can really hope for at this point. And let's see if we can speed this up a tad. Now he is fighting, and so I'm wondering if he has the same plan that I have, where he's kind of just going to wait on us to make the move on Webshire. Now he should know that's not going to happen. I'm not going to just set him up, and I actually will declare on Nicholas Frost if indeed he does take this land. I'm just going to go to war with everybody when that happens. However, I am going to take this opportunity. Let's take a cheap shot at... Ooh, no, never mind. So yeah, I do feel like he's lining up for the killing blow, much in the same way that I am right now. So let's put him right there. Actually, which one of my troops had the... Okay, none of these gents. I was hoping that I would have shock troops somewhere, but it doesn't look like I do. Now I am going to, for the first time, let's put some arrows on Webshire just to do a little bit of damage. I don't think he'll be able to wipe it out with just these 2 units, and I do want to have a unit right here so that his ghost wolves can't fit in there, kind of jimmy their way in there. I don't think they had any path anyways, but I'd rather be safe than sorry in the near future. So I always want to set myself up so that I have a contingency, so that something good is going to happen in my favor were it not going to happen in theirs. So let's look and see who's leveled, and it doesn't really matter right now. It looks like our leveled unit is these gents over here. Right? Okay, so we're going to click on them, and let's give them resistance to magic, as we have been with everyone else. We're also going to click through all of our units. Oh, we've got a settler down here that's ready to go anyway, so I guess I'll make a human city over here. Maybe I'll make another one over here. So let's get him rested up so that he can escort. We're going to send him in first, and I can't reach them just yet. I'm going to put them right there so that either they can move to me or I can move to them next turn. I'm also going to keep my archers right where they are so that we can keep a tentative look on these bears, just making sure that they don't try anything sneaky as well. We've got this unit here, which has now been blocked by my opponent, but I am going to move him into this territory and see if I can swoop around, because the more units we have facing this, the less my opponent has facing it, which means we can get far more damage done than he can, and hopefully if this unit moves here and this unit moves here, he's going to have it surrounded, and that's all we can do. We are going to be out-strategoed, we are going to be out-strategized, unfortunately, because we did have to go around the horn to block that off. But if he doesn't, then I'm going to jimmy this unit in right here, just kind of wedge him in, see how it goes, and once that's in place, we'll start our bombardment of Webshire. Other things that we should keep our eye on is we do have a grouping of wolves down here that are ready to go, and I'm a little bit concerned about where I should put them, but I think I will bring them over this way because attacking Idunam next may be my plan of action. So we may attack, yeah, definitely. I think we're going to go after Idunam next, because our opponent is completely washed away by trying to take care of Grave Gloom at the moment. So I think Idunam is going to be our next bullseye that we're going to shoot for.
Warriors.
Other units that haven't done anything, we can draw these guys back, I think. Yeah, let's draw them back a space. I think placing them right here is in my best interest so that these gentlemen can escape and so that I can move them back in if this unit starts to take too much damage from the bombardment. Other units that we can order around are, we have our guard here. We're going to put them on sentry so that Silverbane has an active garrison. These archers we're also going to put on sentry just for now, but I'm going to try and remember to deactivate them in the next turn or two. I'm also going to bring this unit over to the right just to keep an eye on King Lich over here in case he tries to try anything aggressive. I know we wiped him out quite roundly. We batted him about his ears. We boxed him. We boxed him readily, and unfortunately that leaves him somewhat in ire against us, or somewhat bruised or chafed to our presence. So I wouldn't doubt that he's probably trying to build up a force, but we're not sure what Nicholas Frost is doing to him either. Nicholas Frost appears to be just running a train on everybody at the moment, which makes me worried about him as a future enemy. We have training complete, okay. We have world news. Rajak has captured Horrorville, but we can't look at that, so Rajak is fighting somewhere else, and we'll just deal with that when it comes up. Additionally, we're going to take a look at our construction queue here, and it looks like we're more or less... Oh, the mana pump is finished, so we should see, yeah, a sizable increase. So we're getting 12 mana per turn, almost 13 fractionally, so we're doing pretty well at the moment. And I think that's going to be it for this turn, so let's pass it on, pass it on, pass it to the left. And Rajak is doing something here. Oh, good, he's bombarding. I actually want Nicholas Frost to take a little bit of damage here. And I'll apologize if my synopsis of what's happening is kind of boring. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. So it looks like we are going to see a little bit of a counterattack with regards to King Lich. He got Gorgonwood back. He's also moving back down into our territory. And that unit just got wiped out by Minotaurs. God. So we could see a flanking action fairly soon. You can see that Nicholas Frost is redirecting his troops this way, and he's actually not doing very well. He's taking a good amount of damage there. He's going to use our land to move through. That's fine. He's not an enemy at the moment, so I am going to give him absolute access to my land. And it looks like we've got a shot here at these skeletal archers, which is good. That's fine. We're going to take a shot at them. We're also going to... Let's see. We're gonna give them a little bit of contention. I'm not gonna let them march into my area with impunity. You can tell we're dealing a little bit more damage. That's because these are level 2 archers and ours are level 5. So you definitely want to level your troops as time goes by. And he's got an extra attack point left, and that's going to end that incursion. So Lancelise is taking care of business. We're trying to get him to level 5, get him a bit more powered up for the future, but with things where they are, I'm not going to resist the opportunity to take a shot at our foe here. And is that going to use up all of his movement points? It is indeed. So we're not going to take this down this turn, I don't think. I mean, we may get lucky. Let's fire with the archers first and see how low we can get the city. Good, we've got a level up there, so let's expend that. Level 3 for this group of hunters. We're going to give them a resistance to magic because, as we saw in a few episodes ago, we were getting bombarded pretty heavily, and I just don't want to play with the temptation of our foes just dropping fire on us like crazy, just dropping on us like it's hot. So let's go through the rest of our troops, and we've got another grouping of soldiers done here, which is amazing. We're going to keep as many troops of soldiers ready to go as possible because if we can reinforce our borders and rebut any attack, that puts us in a very nice spot for the future offensive. We've got this unit over here who I'm tempted to scout with. Since we just got a freebie unit, I'm going to scout in this way. He's going to be sacrificial. We'll just run in here and see what we can find with King Lich because I would like to know our surroundings. Now, he did get Grave Gloom back there, which is an interesting turn of events, so I am going to step back from that border because I believe once that hits level 3 or 4, it can shoot a little bit further, so we'll keep them right there. And other units that are ready to go. Let's take a look right here at Idunam. It is largely unguarded, but it does have a bat fort, which would make sieging it a little more difficult. But I do want this town because it's got a pumpkin resource next to it and also a pig resource. So the sooner I can take this, the better. So let's move these wolves back here. And once we get a few more units, actually that's what I think I'm going to do with these gents right here, is let's draw them back down into here so that we can start our offensive on Idunam as soon as the tide starts to turn. We've also got some archers ready to go. They're going to be used mostly as bombardery troops, as artillery, so that's fine. Let's see who our 2 remaining troops are who have yet to be ordered. We have our settlers here. But now that we've dealt with these skeletons, I think his next option is going to be come down, hit these bears. These gents are going to come down, hit the archers. They're going to hit the archers as well. And we should be squared away there for a nice little settlement in this region. So let's put them there and pass this turn by. And hopefully, it wants me to assign orders. No, I refuse. You cannot force me. I will not give orders that I do not want. The game has a pesky habit of telling you what you should be doing, and I kind of wish it wouldn't do that, but in certain respects with other games I wish it would, so it's kind of a case of wanting my cake and eating it too. We take what we have, and yeah, it's about what I figured. They were going to take a hit as they came into the territory there. That's fine. I'm not really that worried about it. And we've got just a battle of ghosts. How cool would that be if you were driving down the street one day and you just saw like hundreds of ghostly wolves fighting each other? That would make my day. My day would be so much better if I saw that. Rest assured that Splattercat would just be drooling for a day like that. I saw a girl in her car. I was walking across campus, and you know how sometimes you get stuck in traffic and you're just sitting there and you just see somebody that's sitting slack-jawed, just like breathing through their mouth, and you wonder for a moment like if their cerebral function has just ceased. Like for a brief moment you're like, I wonder if that person's alive or if they're just in a state of stupor, or if they've just entered some kind of like mental torpor where they just can't fathom what's going on. Like their day has become so difficult that they're just sitting there slack-jawed just breathing because it's the only way to make it through the day. And you know, sometimes I see that, it just makes me wonder. It makes me wonder, and let's make Webshire. There we go. And Webshire is now ours. So our little purple territory, our royal colored territory, is expanding very nicely. And so now, the number 2 thing you want to do whenever you conquer, and I know I kind of gave up on the tutorial aspects of this because I ran into a couple areas in which I'm not really an expert, and I don't want to give you advice if I'm not an expert in the area. But this is one thing that I've noticed through repeated gameplay. So when you capture something that belongs to an enemy, they will make a push to get it back. Rest assured, if they haven't, they will. They put a little tally on their personal list, and if you don't defend it, they'll attack it once or twice, and if you don't have a substantial defense there, they will take it back. They will throw themselves against it, and if you repel them, they seem to give up on it for a large period. But if you don't repel them, they will just fight for it endlessly. So now we have these 4 units down here, so what we're going to do is we're going to start lining everybody up, get everybody into formation for this next invasion. So those guys can't move just yet. They can, so they're going to be part of our opening vanguard. We're also going to take the wolves in over here. And this unit's going to be a test to see if Idunam can bombard that far. If they can in the next turn, we'll just make a rush for it and just hit it as hard as we can, as quickly as we can. We're also going to bring this unit in as somewhat of a reliever just in case. And I don't suppose, yeah, my archers aren't ready to go up here. We've got 2 constructions ready to go. This is kind of a fill-in position, so I'm going to go with the excavation. Oh, no, we're not going to go with the excavation. Let's go with the pig farm, since that's what we were pining for anyways. We'll get the pig farm in place. That's going to give us a little more food, which is going to give us a little more money, and then after that we can afford the excavation. I'm bypassing on it right now because you can see it'll give us a massive production boost in terms of our research, but it's going to hit us and put us into the negative for our gold production, which you don't want anything in the negative if you can help it. Now, I just noticed we can produce warriors here, so I'm going to produce some warriors in this location as well, so that if we get defeated here and they make a push back, we'll have a couple backline units that can kind of hold the fort until we reinforce it. The other construction is available right here, and that's due to the fact that we just reset this. Now, you'll notice that it destroyed, or it should have destroyed. Oh, interesting, it didn't. Okay. So, Webshire is producing for us. What is this right here? So, we've got a mana vault and we've got a mana trap. That's why. I was going to say, we have a distinctive drop-off. Yeah, it's going to be from Webshire. I thought that's unfortunate. So our mana's in a good spot right now. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a graveyard up here because I was talking about diversifying my unit, or diversifying my unit. Sorry, that was an immature laugh on my part right there. I had to. I was diversifying my unit selection. And since these gents can't really move, I'm going to... Let's go with the hero first. No, we can't! Lancelise, I need you to have like 2 more points. So we're just going to bypass the turn. Let's keep an eye on Rajak. Sometimes it auto-shows you what's occurring, and then other times it just ignores you. Now, down here is what I'm most interested in. I want to see if this bombardery happens. And we did lose that unit, but it was not in vain. We did gain valuable insight as to what he has in his inner borders. That was a sacrifice that I was more than willing to make. Now, if you take a look at our mini-map, we're doing amazingly. You can tell that our territory is much larger than that of our opponents, at least for this little grid. This grid will zoom out as we expand more and more and we discover more and more things, and they're going to shoot at him. That's unfortunate. Oh, that's even more unfortunate. It's going to pump out some more units, so that's actually not in our favor. And these units are... I get the distinct feeling, to come back to this, now why did these bears attack my unit? You notice their flag colors are the same. I get the feeling that the AI does not make these individual forces, so the forces of nature are actually allied with the uncontrolled forces of undeath. That's the distinct feeling I get going into this, because you saw how we just got jumped back to back. I'm going to send him in to kill the bears right there, because the bears are the peak threat, and then we're going to have the archers hopefully finish off the bears with that volley. Awesome, fantastic, that's exactly what we wanted. We're going to hit this hard. We may make a push down this way. I do want to get rid of this bear den, as it's the one that's generating the great bears. So let me see if I have any scouting unit that can get there rapidly. I don't think I do. I think I made the mistake of moving my wolves too far in. We also didn't take an attack from Idunam right here. So yeah, he's still fighting over Grave Gloom right there, which is a funny thing. Whatever that unit is that's occupied that city is just massively powerful. So we're going to move everybody in for an attack here. He's a city fighter. You'll see down at the bottom left. I can't mouse over it, unfortunately, but he has a city fighter bonus. He's going to take a swing at Idunam. We're going to try and get this quest completed in a quick fashion. Oh, good. He can do it as well. So, we didn't waste any time right there getting a little bit of damage done. We're going to keep scooching people forward as far as they can on the offensive. He's all used up. Or is he on sentry mode? Strange. I felt like I couldn't move him last turn either, but maybe I moved him from there to there. My memory's not so good, guys. You guys know. So, there's going to be 17 damage to Idunam right there as well. So, next turn, this should fall squarely under our control, unless something just out of the ordinary happens, like an ogre marches in or something. We should have this. He is known for hitting us with lightning bolts, so we could take some damage next turn. And it looks like we've got a lord. So, ooh, Gar. So what's his upkeep? His upkeep has got to be substantial. It has to be. So let's right-click him. He's a fighter lord. He's an eldest ogre. Oh, he's only got a food upkeep. Now, the food upkeep is going to affect our gold upkeep, so we are going to be in the negative for just a moment, but I'm going to hire him anyways, because we need another hero. I feel like we need far, far more heroes, and an ogre hero is going to be just the bee's knees for keeping ourselves equipped against our foes. And now that we have an ogre, I'm actually semi-tempted to go after Grave Gloom now and just complete this big roundabout expansion of our territory. Ogres are amazing for siege combat, but we have an offer. Let's see who wants to make peace with us. He's offering to give us gold. Let's see what we can we renegotiate? No. 40 mana and 32 gold is not a lot. However, removing him from the table while I go and fight with Rajak now is in our favor. So I'm going to do that, and we could use the extra gold since we're in the negative for the time being. We are going to need to use some construction to get ourselves taken care of. Now we have the option to make veterans at the moon now, which are basically just these troops, just way cooler. Let's go ahead and take a look at their stats sheet. So first and foremost, let's look at warriors. Our warriors are pretty awesome, taking into account all the resistances they're going to get when they're built from all of the random things around. Let's go to our veterans now and take a look at the difference. So between the warriors and the veterans, you're looking at 4 more damage. You're looking at 20 more health, which is substantial, but a higher upkeep. They've also got an extra ability, which is document inspection, which the effect is applied to neighboring enemy units. So I guess they act as some kind of border patrol for us. They've also got higher resistances all around, except they don't come with any magic, but that's fine. They come with better armor, and they're going to get all of those bonuses from being drilled, from being armored, and so forth from all of our other locations. I believe they take the same amount of time to train, but they are twice as expensive, but they are a better investment. Now, I don't know if we can upgrade these gents into veterans. Let's take a look here. Yes, we can. So for 100 gold, we can increase them into veterans, but we don't really have the pot right now to take care of that business. And all of that out of the way, let's make sure that everybody that can move does. So now that we're not at war with King Lich, I feel somewhat more secure not having to worry about my borders. Now, I think I'm going to take these units right here and make a push towards Gravegloom. We're not at war with King Lich anymore, which means Webshire is safe for the moment. We're going to have our wolves. Oh, they've already regenerated. I love that regeneration perk. I think I'm going to have all 3 of these just stay on sentry mode, and then I'm going to have the wolves come back around and join the assault on Gravegloom. And there's just all kinds of goodies happening this turn. This is one of those turns that I very much enjoy because it's very pivotal to how things turn out. I'm going to cycle these guys down and around and head this way. I'm also going to take our archers, which have just spawned, come over here and take a shot at these bats because I don't want them around. I don't think they're going to kill the bats, but it's going to give them extra XP. It's going to get them going early on. We can also upgrade them to rangers, which it's basically the same deal as before. They pretty much get universally upgraded. Oh no, I thought a right click would open up the tab, and we actually just spent some gold there, so we may end up in the negative. Let's take a look at our artifacts here, and we can disenchant it for money. I thought we could sell them. Well, hopefully we come across some gold pretty soon. We do have a... Oh, the graveyard's being built up there. Yeah, so we're in a bit of trouble right now. I don't know what happens when you go negative. You probably have some units bail out on you. If we get too close to the line, we've got 6 turns to play with. If we get too close to the line, what we'll do is we'll start disbanding some of our troops. It's not something that I like doing, but I'd rather keep heroes than normal troops. So it looks like our archers took a hit down here. Is Rajat going to offer? Yeah, we're going to... Okay, so it's going to be an eventful episode, and this is probably going to be our last turn. So we're going to deny Rajat. We're going to go to war with him. We're not going to allow him out. We've got imps, so I may disband a unit and then summon some imps because we have a lot of mana going on. And let's choose a new spell. We can summon serpents. Now, I like summoning spells in this game, especially since we have so much mana generating right at the moment, and we're actually deficient in gold. I'm tempted to get rid of a lot of our army upkeep. I'm tempted to get rid of a lot of our army with the... There we go. So we captured the bear den, but now we found ourselves in another situation. I'm going to move the hell away from that. It looks like there's a substantial battle going on over here with a greater fire elemental. Let's look at his stats. So he's got 40 health. He's pretty much immune to death magic. He is pretty much overpowered. He's not going to take damage from just about anything. I'm not saying overpowered in the sense of MMO overpowered. Now let's push them out of that territory because I do want to get rid of anything that could possibly... Okay, we've got that snake's nest down there too. God, there are so many beasts over in this region that we have to contend with before we can get anything done. But I like what we got done over here this turn. This means that we may be able to move them into position. I'm going to keep them wide so that the serpents presumably can still get at them. So that was probably a tactical error on my side, but let's do a level up. So we'll give him Forced March maybe. What's his resistance to melee already? His resistance to melee is already 85. Yeah, let's give him the extra movement point. The 5 movement points is pretty major. And then let's cycle through and make sure everybody has the right orders given. So we're going to sentry them. We're also going to use them to attack Idunam. Attack Idunam through there as well. So Idunam is now ours. We captured the city. And it looks like they gave us a dwarf unit, but it also gave us a ton of money. So it's kind of one of those situations where we saved ourselves and shot ourselves in the foot, but the foot wound wasn't quite as bad as the saving, so that's fine. Our wolves have taken some damage, so we're going to allow them to rest on this turn. We're going to use these rangers to take a shot at them. And the damage difference was not that substantial, but we do want them to level up. We want them to ding up a little bit. We're also going to bring our ogre into range of this city. And maybe we'll kill the Paladins of Death, too. I don't really know how that's going to go. But if we can get rid of the Paladins of Death, that would be pretty major. It's going to take our units a little while to travel across that nasty terrain. And they used up their movement points in battle. But I think we can roll this with a single hit next turn. We have some construction ready to go right here. We're going to give ourselves a market because we don't really have a choice. And the plains look like they generate extra cash, so that's what we're going to go for. We need to dig ourselves out of the red right now. So let's do this last level up. For the gents that took the city, great. We're going to give them Furious Charge because they hit level 2. And that's going to be the end of our final turn. So my name is Splattercat if you're new to the channel. If you are old to the channel or a veteran of the channel, thank you for joining me here today. I very much enjoy speaking with you guys, talking about video games, and always showcasing this sort of thing. And I'm having a blast with this Warlock play, so I hope you'll join me next time. That all out of the way, take care out there, everybody.